You weren't born randomly. You weren't an afterthought or a coincidence. You were born for this hour, right here, right now, with everything going on around you. This is your moment. You have been chosen by God to rise up in the midst of challenge, to stand strong in the middle of the storm, to shine your light in the darkest night. You are not here by accident. God placed you exactly where you are needed. That may be hard to believe at times, especially when life feels confusing, unfair, or uncertain. But let me encourage you today, there is nothing random about your existence. Every breath you take, every step you walk, every door that opens or closes, none of it is by chance. You are divinely positioned by a God who knows the end from the beginning, who sees not only who you are, but who you can become. You may look at your surroundings and think, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Maybe things haven't turned out the way you thought they would. Maybe you expected to be further along in a different career, a different relationship, a different season. But let me tell you, God doesn't make mistakes. He didn't overlook you. He hasn't forgotten you. He has you right where you need to be, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. You see, God is a master planner. Long before you showed up on this earth, He had already written your story. He factored in every detour, every disappointment, every wrong turn. And still He said, I have a plan for you. Not a plan to harm you, but a plan to prosper you, to give you hope and a future. That means even the places in your life that look like setbacks are still part of the setup. That means the job you didn't get, the opportunity that fell through, the people who walked away, they didn't derail your destiny. They're actually leading you to it. Sometimes we want to rush ahead. We want the promotion, the breakthrough, the recognition right now. But God is not just preparing the blessing for you. He's preparing you for the blessing. He knows when you're ready. He knows when the timing is right. Just like a seed has to be planted deep in the soil before it breaks through the surface, sometimes you have to be hidden before you're revealed. But hidden doesn't mean forgotten. Delayed doesn't mean denied. Where you are right now may feel small, unnoticed, even uncomfortable, but it's necessary because it's in those places that God shapes your character, sharpens your faith, and strengthens your foundation. If you could see what God sees over your life, you wouldn't question your place. You'd celebrate it. You'd see that you were in the exact spot to influence the right people, to learn what you need for the next level, to grow in ways you never would if everything was easy. God is strategic. He doesn't waste anything. Every challenge is developing something in you. Every closed door is protecting you from something that wasn't right. Every detour is pointing you in the direction of something better. You may think, but what about the mistakes I've made? Maybe you feel like your past disqualified you, but nothing you've done can override what God has spoken over your life. His mercy is bigger than your mess. His grace reaches further than your failure. He can use your scars, your pain, even your regrets, and turn them into purpose. In fact, some of the most powerful people in Scripture didn't have perfect paths. Moses ran from Egypt. David messed up big time. Paul persecuted the church. Yet they were all placed exactly where God needed them. And so are you. The truth is, someone needs what you carry. Someone is waiting on the other side of your obedience, your courage, your decision to stay faithful right where you are. It may be a family member, a coworker, a stranger you haven't even met yet. You being in the right place with the right attitude can change everything. You don't have to be famous. You don't have to have a platform. Sometimes just showing up with love, showing up with peace, showing up with joy in the middle of a dark world, that's all it takes to make a difference. You may feel overlooked, but heaven knows your name. You may feel stuck, but God sees momentum. You may feel insignificant, but you carry the fingerprints of the creator of the universe. He called you. He positioned you, and he has a plan for you that no person, no mistake, no enemy can cancel. So don't minimize where you are. Don't curse the ground you're standing on. Instead, trust that this season, this exact location in your journey is fertile soil. It may not look like much now, but something is growing. Something is shifting. God is aligning people, opportunities, and breakthroughs with your name on them. He is using your current position to set the stage for your future promotion. Lift your head, square your shoulders. Stop comparing your story to someone else's. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are right on schedule. You are right where you need to be. Not because you figured it all out, but because the one who holds the stars also holds your steps. This is your hour, your moment to shine, to lead, to impact. You may not feel ready. You may look at yourself and see limitations, insecurities, or past mistakes. But God sees something different. He sees potential. He sees purpose. He sees someone equipped for this exact time in history. You were not born too early or too late. You weren't overlooked, left out, or forgotten. You were born for this moment, and it's time to rise into everything God has placed within you. There's something powerful about recognizing your season. When you know that this is your hour, you start walking differently. You stop shrinking back. You stop waiting for permission from people who didn't call you in the first place. You understand that God has already said yes. He has already opened the door. He has already placed the calling on your life. Now he's waiting for you to walk into it. This is not the time to play small. This is not the season to stay silent, to hide your light, or to doubt your worth. You weren't created to blend in. You were created to stand out. You weren't made to echo what others are saying. You were made to speak with your own voice. There is a light inside of you that the world needs. There is a gift in you that heaven has deposited for this generation. It's not meant to stay buried. It's meant to shine. You may not have all the answers, but God doesn't require perfection. He looks for willingness. If you're willing to step out, he will meet you there. If you're willing to show up, he will fill you with the strength, the wisdom, and the boldness to fulfill the assignment. You don't have to do it all on your own. You're not carrying this hour in your own power. You have heaven's help. You are backed by the promises of God, empowered by the Spirit of God, and surrounded by the grace of God. You were made to lead. And leadership doesn't always look like standing on a stage or holding a title. Sometimes it looks like being a steady voice in chaos. Sometimes it means being the one who chooses kindness when others choose criticism. Sometimes it's simply about living with integrity, making choices that honor God, and loving people even when it's hard. Your leadership may not always be loud, but it will be undeniable. The influence you carry isn't measured by likes or followers. It's measured by the lives you touch, the hearts you lift, and the hope you bring. There are people who are watching you, even when you don't realize it. People who are inspired by your strength, who are encouraged by your perseverance, who are learning from how you carry yourself through challenges. Your life is a message, and this hour is your opportunity to make that message count. Don't let fear talk you out of what God has spoken over you. Don't let doubt keep you on the sidelines when you were made to be on the field. This is your time to step forward, to use your voice, to build what God has placed in your heart, to serve, to speak, to shine. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs the original version of you, the version God handcrafted, full of purpose and power. You may say, but I don't feel ready. That's okay. God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. If he's put the desire in your heart, if he's stirring something inside you, that's your sign. He's already gone ahead of you. The road may not be easy, but it's worth it, and you won't walk it alone. This moment is bigger than you. It's about the legacy you'll leave, the seeds you'll sow, the change you'll bring. You have a destiny to fulfill. You have a purpose that cannot be canceled by opposition or delayed by detours. What God starts, he finishes. What he calls, he equips. This is not a time to back down. It's a time to rise up. It's time to take off the labels that people put on you, to shake off the shame, the regret, the fear, the comparison. You are not defined by your past. You are not limited by what you lack. You are empowered by a God who can do exceedingly, abundantly above all you ask or imagine. That means this hour is not just about surviving. It's about thriving. It's about stepping fully into who you were created to be. Look around. The world is hungry for hope. People are searching for truth, for love, for meaning. And God placed you here now to be a part of the answer, not by chance. Not by accident, but by divine assignment. You are the light. You are the example. You are the vessel through which God will move. Don't let the noise of the world drown out the call of heaven. This is your hour, your moment to shine, to lead, to impact. Not tomorrow, not when everything is perfect, but now. Right here, right where you are. You've been chosen, anointed, and positioned. So take the step. Speak the word. Start the project. Love the people. Lead with courage. Shine with boldness. The time is now, and you are ready. Challenges are not signs of defeat. They are doors to your destiny. That may sound hard to accept, especially when you're in the thick of a difficult season, facing battles that seem too big, setbacks that feel unfair, or delays that test your patience. But let me remind you today, just because it's hard doesn't mean it's not from God. Just because it's painful doesn't mean it's pointless. In fact, it's often the very things we try to avoid, the struggles, the disappointments, the closed doors, that God uses to lead us exactly where we need to be. You see, challenges don't come to destroy you. They come to develop you. They come to build your endurance, stretch your faith, and prepare you for what's next. What looks like an obstacle is often an opportunity in disguise. What feels like a failure may actually be the first step toward your greatest breakthrough. It's easy to think that if you were really on the right path, everything would go smoothly. But the truth is, resistance doesn't mean you're going the wrong way. It often means you're going the right way. And the enemy is trying to stop you. Think about the great men and women throughout history, and even in the Bible, people we admire for their strength, their purpose, their legacy. None of them got there without going through something. David didn't become king without facing Goliath. Joseph didn't step into leadership without being betrayed and forgotten. Esther didn't save her people without risking everything. Even Jesus didn't fulfill his mission without walking through the cross. The path to destiny is rarely smooth, but it is always purposeful. Every challenge they faced wasn't a detour, it was the doorway. When you go through hard seasons, it can feel like God is far away, like your prayers are hitting a ceiling, like nothing is changing. But those are the moments when your roots are going deeper. When a tree faces strong winds, it doesn't break, it digs in. It learns to stand stronger. And you're the same way. The pressure you're under is not proof of your defeat. It's evidence that something greater is on the other side. Growth happens in the struggle. Wisdom comes through experience, and strength is built through resistance. Sometimes God allows challenges not to punish you, but to promote you. What if that trial you're facing isn't meant to take you out, but to set you up? What if the storm is clearing the way for something new? What if the closed door is protecting you from something that was never meant to be yours? We don't always see it in the moment, but when you look back, you'll realize that the very thing you thought was a setback was actually a setup. That loss taught you to lean on God in a deeper way. That delay taught you patience. That betrayal opened your eyes. That disappointment redirected your steps. You can't have victory without a battle. You can't have a testimony without a test. And sometimes the bigger the challenge, the greater the calling. So if you're facing something that seems impossible, that may be a sign that you're closer to your destiny than you've ever been. Don't give up now. Don't let the weight of the moment make you forget the promise God placed in your heart. He's not finished with you. He's not surprised by what you're facing. In fact, he's already made a way through it. You may not see the end from where you are, but God does. He's working behind the scenes. He's aligning the right people, opening the right doors, and using every obstacle for your good. Romans 8:28 doesn't say that everything is good. It says that God works all things together for good. That means even the pain, even the rejection, even the delay, it's all being woven into a bigger plan. Don't let the enemy convince you that because you're struggling, you're failing. You're not failing, you're learning, you're growing, you're being refined. Gold has to go through the fire. Diamonds are formed under pressure, and your destiny is being shaped in the same way. Every challenge you face is preparing you for something greater than you can imagine. So instead of asking, why me? Try asking, what is God doing in me through this? Instead of saying, I can't take this, remind yourself, if it's in front of me, then I'm equipped for it. You are stronger than you think. You've made it through 100% of your worst days. And you didn't come this far just to stop here. There's more ahead. There's purpose in the pain. There's destiny on the other side of difficulty. Keep your head up. Keep pressing forward. Speak faith even when you feel fear. Declare victory even when you see opposition. Trust that this challenge is not a wall, it's a door. And not just any door, but a door to something greater, something eternal, something that matters. This isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of a powerful new chapter. Challenges are not signs of defeat. They are doors to destiny. Walk through them with courage, with confidence, and with the unshakable knowledge that God is with you every step of the way. There is greatness inside you waiting to rise up. It may not always feel like it. You might look in the mirror and only see your flaws, your past, your struggles. your past, your struggle. You may look around at others and think they've got more talent, more opportunities, more strength. But I'm here to remind you that God placed something extraordinary within you, something that can't be measured by what you see on the outside. You were created with greatness in your DNA. It's not something you earn, it's something you carry. It's already there, waiting to be awakened, waiting to be stirred, waiting to rise up and be revealed. You weren't created to live an average life, to settle for mediocrity, or to simply get by. The greatness in you is calling you higher. It's pushing against limitations. It's uncomfortable in small thinking. It's irritated by excuses. That's why you feel a tension when you're playing it safe or staying in the background, because your spirit knows there's more. Something in you knows that you were meant to lead, to create, to inspire, to make a difference. And the reason you can't shake that feeling is because it's the truth. Greatness isn't about being perfect. It's not about having all the answers or never making mistakes. In fact, your greatness often rises in the midst of imperfection. It shows up in your willingness to try again after failing. It shines when you choose faith over fear, courage over comfort, and purpose over popularity. Greatness is not about fame or recognition. It's about being faithful with what's in your hand. It's about showing up fully in the life God has given you and refusing to shrink back from the responsibility of your calling. You have ideas no one else has. You have a voice no one else carries. You have a perspective shaped by everything you've walked through, every battle you've faced, every lesson you've learned, every scar you carry. Nothing has been wasted. Even the things that tried to break you are being used to build the foundation of something strong. The pain you've endured, the tears you've cried, the challenges you've overcome, they're all evidence that there's something powerful inside of you. Weakness doesn't cancel greatness. Sometimes it's the very thing God uses to reveal it. You don't have to wait until you feel confident. You don't have to wait until you've figured it all out. The greatness inside you doesn't need perfect conditions to emerge. It just needs your permission. It needs you to believe in it. It needs you to stop deferring on yourself. It needs you to say yes, to take the step, to speak the word, to begin the journey. Because the moment you move in faith, that seed of greatness begins to grow. That gift begins to develop. That light begins to shine. God didn't create you to copy someone else's path. He designed you uniquely, and the greatness in you is not a duplicate. It's an original. Stop comparing yourself to others. Their calling is not your competition. You don't need what they have because you already have what you need. It's inside of you, waiting to rise up. Every time you choose to grow instead of giving up, every time you lift someone else even while you're still healing, every time you stay faithful in the quiet seasons, you're letting that greatness rise. You have more in you than you realize. You have strength you haven't tapped into yet. You have creativity, wisdom, resilience, and grace waiting to be drawn out. Don't let fear hold it hostage. Don't let insecurity keep it buried. Don't let past failures convince you that you're disqualified. And if he put it there, then he intends for it to come out, not just for your benefit, but to bless others, to bring hope, to light up the darkness. Sometimes all it takes is a decision to believe, to act, to rise. You don't need a sign in the sky. You don't need everyone's approval. You just need to know that the creator of the universe put his fingerprint on you and declared, you are enough. Not because of your resume, not because of your record, but because of his grace. That alone qualifies you. That alone qualifies you. That alone empowers you. And that alone guarantees that the greatness inside you has a purpose and a destiny. Don't bury it in fear. Don't water it down to fit in. Don't let time, age, or circumstances convince you that it's too late. It's not too late. As long as there is breath in your lungs, there is purpose in your life. Put it to this. The world doesn't need a lesser version of you. It needs the fullness of who God made you to be. Stand tall, speak truth, dream big, love well, walk with boldness. Because your greatness is not a future possibility. It's a present reality waiting to rise. There is greatness inside you waiting to rise up. Let today be the day you stop running from it and start living in it. Let it rise through your actions, through your faith, through your courage. Let it rise through your voice, your choices, and your persistence. It's in you. It always has been. And the time to release it is now. Delay is not denial. God is still working behind the scenes. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't happen on our timetable. You prayed, you believed, you did everything you knew to do, and yet nothing seems to be moving. The door hasn't opened. The opportunity hasn't come. The opportunity hasn't come. The healing hasn't manifested. The breakthrough still seems far away. And in those moments of waiting, doubt begins to whisper, maybe it's not going to happen. Maybe God forgot about you. Maybe you were wrong to believe in the first place. But I'm here to tell you today, delay is not the same as denial. Just because you haven't seen it yet doesn't mean it's not on the way. Just because it's taking time doesn't mean God isn't moving. He's working behind the scenes in ways you can't see and arranging things you don't yet understand. God is never late. He's never early. He's always right on time. But his time isn't always our time. His ways are higher. His vision is broader, and his plan is more perfect than anything we could ever imagine. While we're trying to rush the process, God is working on the foundation. While we're focused on the outcome, he's developing our character. There are things he's preparing in us and around us that are necessary for the promise to be fulfilled. And sometimes the greatest faith is not found in the waiting. It's found in how we wait. Delay stretches our trust. It teaches us patience. It reveals whether we believe in the promise or just the pace of it. It's one thing to have faith for a moment. It's another to have faith that endures. Anyone can believe when it's quick and easy, but faith that lasts through delay, that's faith that pleases God. That's the kind of faith that moves mountains and unlocks miracles when it seems like nothing is happening. That's often when the most is happening in the unseen. Seeds grow underground before they break through the soil. Babies develop in the womb before they're born. And promises mature in the quiet before they come to pass. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not growing. Just because it's silent doesn't mean God is absent. He's orchestrating connections, shifting circumstances, positioning people all to bring his promise to pass at the right time in the right way. Think about Joseph in the Bible. He had a dream, a vision from God that he would rise to leadership. But what happened? He was sold into slavery, falsely accused, and thrown into prison. Years went by, and it looked like nothing was going right. If Joseph had gone straight from the dream to the palace, he wouldn't have had the wisdom, the humility, or the strength to handle it. The delay wasn't punishment. It was preparation. And when the time was right, in one day, Joseph went from prisoner to prime minister. That's what God can do. You may feel like you're in a holding pattern, but God is not wasting your time. He's investing it. He's getting you ready. He's working on you, and he's working on the promise. There are people who aren't ready yet. There are doors that need to be built. There are divine connections that need to be made. Sometimes God will delay the promise so the right people can be in place to help you carry it out. Sometimes he delays it to protect you from something you can't see. He's not trying to frustrate you. He's trying to bless you at a level you're not ready for yet. The delay is not forever. There will come a moment when God says, now. And when that moment comes, nothing will be able to stop it. Not the opposition, not the past, not even your own mistakes. When asked the thief now, what God has for you is for you. Delay doesn't mean denied. It just means not yet. And when the time is right, it will happen suddenly, effortlessly, and supernaturally. One phone call, one encounter, one open door, and everything will change. But don't let delay turn into discouragement. Don't start speaking defeat over something God has already spoken victory over. Keep declaring the promise. Keep thanking God even when you don't see it. Keep showing up with faith, with expectation, with praise. Your attitude in the delay can determine how long you stay there. When you trust that God is working behind the scenes, you can rest in his timing and stay in peace even when nothing looks different. So hold on. Keep believing. Keep dreaming. Keep preparing. Because what God promised, he will do. His word doesn't return void. He finishes what he starts. And the delay you're experiencing right now may just be the setup for something greater than you imagined. It may feel like you're standing still, but in God's plan, you're right on schedule. Delay is not denial. God is still working behind the scenes, and your time is coming. You're equipped, empowered, and anointed for such a time as this. That's not just a nice phrase. It's a divine truth about who you are and why you're here. You weren't born by accident, and you're not walking through this season by chance. Everything about your life has purpose. The gifts you carry, the experiences you've had, the strengths you've discovered, and even the battles you fought, they've all been preparing you for this moment. God has placed his hand on you, and he's saying, you are ready. He's saying, you are ready. You are chosen. You are talent. You are chosen. You have what it takes. It's easy to look at what's in front of you and feel overwhelmed. The needs are great. The challenges are real. And sometimes the future feels uncertain. But don't let what's around you make you forget what's inside you. God has already deposited everything you need to thrive right where you are. You have the wisdom, the courage, the insight, the resilience. It may not always feel like it, but the truth is you are not lacking. You are not missing something. You're not waiting to become someone else or hoping for something more to qualify you. You are already equipped. When God calls you to a purpose, he doesn't call you empty-handed. He equips you with the skills, the mindset, and the grace to fulfill it. You're not doing this in your own strength. The reason you can rise up and make a difference is because the power of God is backing you. You've been empowered by his Spirit. That means you have supernatural help. You have divine insight. You have a strength that goes beyond your own ability. You have access to the wisdom of heaven. And when you feel weak, his strength shows up even more. For this and future, it's for now. You're not being prepared for someday. You're prepared for this day, for this challenge, for this assignment, for this generation. You have a role to play and your voice matters. Your light is needed. Your presence carries weight. You don't need to wait until everything is perfect or until you feel ready. Readiness doesn't come from comfort. It comes from trust. You were anointed for this moment, which means God has set you apart for it. He's marked you with purpose and he's put his favor on you to accomplish what you're called to do. Don't underestimate yourself. Don't talk yourself out of what God has already spoken over you. When he looks at you, he doesn't see limitations. He sees potential. He sees the impact you're going to make. He sees the lives you'll touch. He sees the breakthrough that's going to come because you chose to rise. That anointing on your life is not just for church on Sunday. It's for your workplace, your family, your community, your every day. It's the power to bring hope where there's been despair. It's the authority to speak peace where there's been confusion. It's the confidence to walk boldly into rooms where others doubt themselves because you know who sent you. When Esther was faced with a threat to her people, she could have stayed silent. She could have hidden and hoped someone else would step in. But Mordecai told her, who knows if perhaps you were made queen for such a time as this? And that word still speaks today. You've been positioned, just like Esther, positioned in your job and your family and your city for a purpose. It may not always be comfortable. It may stretch you, but you weren't put there to blend in. You were placed there to shine, to lead, to influence, and to bring change. You might say, but I don't feel anointed. I don't feel powerful. That's okay. Anointing is not a feeling, it's a fact. It's a truth that rests on you whether you feel it or not. David was anointed to be king long before he ever wore a crown. He went back to the field and kept tending sheep. But the oil was already on him. You may still be in your everyday routine, but the anointing is still there. And in due time, what's been placed on your life will be revealed in full. You just keep walking in obedience. Keep showing up. Keep trusting. The oil is working even in the waiting. You are equipped, which means you already have the tools. You are empowered, which means God's power is flowing through you. And you are anointed, which means you've been chosen, set apart, and covered in his grace for what lies ahead. There's nothing ordinary about your life. There's nothing random about your placement. This moment was made for you, and you were made for this moment. So stand tall, speak life, move forward with confidence, not because of who you are on your own, but because of who is with you and what he's placed within you. You're not empty. You're not weak. You're not alone. You are equipped, empowered, and anointed for such a time as this. Step into it, embrace it, live it fully, because your time is now.